Hello, well I hope I'm in the picture here. I think I am. Yes, I'm taking my ease in the garden, and we've got Spitfire here. Now this is a short introduction to talk about the changes I've made to both Spitfire and the Hurricane now, and they are now geared slightly higher than they were as standard. They've got an extra tooth on the gearbox sprocket. This involves two test rides, which you'll see the two together, obviously edited together, but also at the end there will be photographs showing the change of that sprocket and what it involves. Now others have done this, I know. This is the way I did it. It took me about, to the second time on Spitfire, it took me about 2 hours, and it just needed the help of a friend just to sit on the bike and put the brakes on, and then he was able to go and I could do the rest myself. So I hope you find this interesting, the ride interesting. What can I reveal about this? Well, this is a little bit of a specification bit now, because the Royal Enfield Classic 350 has the slightly larger rear wheel. It has an 18-inch rear wheel, whereas the Hunter has a 17-inch rear wheel. That means that the standard gearing on the Classic 350 is about 10% higher than the Hunter. That gives the Hunter slight undergearing, which is perfect for its original intention, which was urban riding, I suppose. I always felt that first gear, for example, was a tad undergeared, a bit low. And when Hitchcocks Motorcycles released the second batch of the 16-tooth sprockets, I ordered two, not actually intending to fit them. I was concerned it would be overgeared. In reality, I've done the figures, and that extra tooth brings the gearing to almost the same as the Classic 350, which isn't overgeared in its standard form. If you put a 16-tooth gearbox sprocket on the Classic 350, I think others have said that it is a tad overgeared. Anyway, the Hunter, I feel, is spot on with this extra gearing, and I hope you find this useful. So bye for now, and we'll get on with the ride, and then the pictures right at the end. Thanks for watching this. Hello, well here we are on Hurricane, and we're geared up on the extra tooth, and we're going to ride along some sort of roads that I normally ride along to get an idea of how it feels. Initially, my thoughts are that it's a big improvement. I don't have to change up so quickly from first gear. The second gear is much more extended. Third, fourth and fifth are all fine. Now this is little estate roads which we've been up. I think we came up here in came down it in the autumn, and not many people know of this. In fact, I've not actually seen a car on it, as farmers use it, because there's a little estate farm just a bit further along, because we've got sheep in the field. A lovely little lane this is. And so this is the sort of riding that I would do with the bikes, as well as other roads, country roads as well, faster roads. But I wanted to get an idea of what it's like climbing up, and so far it's lovely, because I can use that second and third gear much more easily. I don't have to change from second to third so much, and that was something that always irked me a bit. I was concerned that I would be overgearing the Hunter by doing this, especially for the sort of lanes that I like to ride along. So what's the point of adding higher gearing? But in fact, it means that first gear is more usable, first and second gears. In the past, I was often having to change quite often from second to third, and neither being quite right, third being too high, second being a little bit too low. Now it does feel as though I can use both those gears much better.
very similar in terms of gearing. So that should mean that all the features of the classic 350, with the advantages of the lighter weight of the Hunter, should mean that the Hunter is a much more usable machine for longer rides. Now I do know, I've got a friend who rides a Hunter very long distances, and also David, you've used yours for travelling up from Cornwall or up to North Wales without any problems. But I would say that the extra tooth on the so far anyway on the Hunter will extend the capability of the Hunter. Anyway, we'll see. It's early days yet, but so far so good. Just come up to the more major road and we turn right, and then we've got some higher speeds and see how it feels then. Yes, that extra higher gear, first gear, meant I didn't have to change up quite so quickly. So that was a lot better, same in the second. So you don't have to change up quite so quickly through the gears, which is a big improvement over what it used to be. That little stretch there at 40, 40 was certainly seemed very, very smooth. Not that 40 never felt there was any vibration there, but because I suppose it's not about, if you're travelling at 40, it was like it was at 35 before, and I suspect that going on at 50 will seem like 45 was, so that gives you a sort of a yardstick, I suppose. Anyway, we're on a longer straight now, so we'll try and get up to 50 along this bit and see how that feels. Felt that 50 was a wee bit, a bit vibration at 50, but no, not now. Because 50 would be a normal, nice cruising speed. 50, 55 on faster roads would be a nice cruising speed for me. I suppose if you were doing 60, it would be like 55 was, which was actually quite smooth. It seemed 50 was always a bit of vibration at 50. I'll be dropping down to another faster road, major road, and so we'll ride along that and we'll see what that feels like. Well, we're just going to be coming into the village of Overkellet, and so then we're going to swap over and we're going to try the Spitfire with the standard gearing on the same roads and see how that feels. So join me in a moment.
hello again. I thought we needed a bit of an outro after that, those couple of rides, and so yes, now both Hurricane and Spitfire have the higher gearing. That's because after riding Spitfire with the lower gearing, it was obvious to me that I preferred the higher gearing, so that's why. The photographs that you'll see, if you have a look at them, explain how to do it. You can look at Targaness's video, and he explains it too. He does it rather differently. I don't know why, but he thought he would have to put it into gear. You don't need to put the bike into gear at all, nor do you need to put anything across the spokes. Wouldn't recommend that. Simply get someone to sit on the bike, put both brakes on, and you need that Tommy bar, long Tommy bar, a 30mm socket, and ideally, unless you're very strong, you need a 3-foot length of tubing, steel tubing, to add extra leverage. Anyway, for me it was fine, and the job is now done. So future rides, and I'm talking about the coming year, will all be done with the higher gearing on both Spitfire and Hurricane, and I look forward to that, I must say. Hope you do too, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.